Hi, today you joined me in my office and I'm going to be taking you behind the scenes on a recent photo shoot I did. I'm going to show you some behind the scenes footage and what we had for a location, how we set up, and then also show you my editing process here at home, a little bit of the workflow and some before and afters. So the car in question was a 997.2 Porsche 911 GT3 RS. Finished in the blue and red paint scheme. Gorgeous car. So follow along and we're going to show you that right now. Alright, so welcome to my desktop. What we have to start is I'm going to show you my drives up here in upper left. These are all my drives that I work out of. Each one is redundant to the other. So right now my main ones are Fiorano and Monza. Monza is the backup to Fiorano. Fiorano is right here. So I break everything down. Here's photography, and then the category for me, I obviously shoot mostly automotive, and then the year, and then from there I've got my specific nomenclature that I follow very closely every time. The A stands for automotive underscore the date. The date is in reverse order, so it's a year, month, day. That ensures that it will always be that ensures that it will always be chronologically correct. No matter what's inside, no matter whatever else, they'll always be lined up correctly and you can always easily find it. So the first one we're going to look at is this one. Here's a project file. Within each file I put the originals. Here's all the raw photos and videos. The Facebook exports, these are just the photos that I will export in a certain size and pixel per inch, everything. And website, blog, that'll be a different resolution. Proofs and final, those are all different resolutions depending on the client and how I'm sending them to them and whatever else. And then the catalog files, I name them every time. Something that makes sense to me and I'll always know what it is. And then CAT just stands for catalog. And then the invoice, that will be anything that really goes with that project will go in this folder. So it's all nice and tidy. So open up Lightroom and here we go. We're going to do Shift F to go full screen. Once you first open this up, when it's a new project file, you import the files. They're all going to be in here chronologically. You can resort them by doing this if you need, but this is capture time is obviously what makes sense for me. So the first thing I do once I'm in there is I go through them all and rate them based on whether or not I'm going to use them or not. Some shots I know I took that it's just not going to make the cut. I'm not going to use it in the edit, so I'll disregard that and not rank it so I just don't have to see it anymore. From there though, once I have all my photos that I know I'm going to use ranked and I hit the number 1 to give them a 1 star, these are all them. From there, I just double check. I might make a couple tweaks in Lightroom if I need to before bringing it into Photoshop. But once they're all rated and I know they're good looking for Photoshop, I will select them all like that, right click and edit in Photoshop. Once in Photoshop, I will do my edits and composites and all the fancy stuff I need to do to make it look right. And then I'll save it or bring it back into Lightroom for the final look over and any final tweaks. You can see I did a couple tweaks, like for instance on this one. So this is I think straight out of camera. Yeah, this is straight out of camera with a couple of tweaks in Lightroom. Then I brought it into Photoshop and I did a few things more to it. And then I had to do a second edit to it just to add a little flair and make it pop just a little bit more. But then, for instance, this one, I used 16 photos to make the one. I combined them all, brought it back into Lightroom as this, where I made a final couple of tweaks on it, and it's a done deal. And I'll crop it finally in Lightroom too. It's way easier to crop there too. And once that's done, I go through each photo I took and put it together, save it, put it back in Lightroom, make my final tweaks, and then once they're all good, I will export it, put it in the appropriate file in the project folder. I do rename them, so I just had the custom setting renaming thing right here. I give it my business name and then a number just to keep everything together. And then depending on where it's going to be used, I'll do a watermark on there where I have those pre-set up. And that's pretty much it. That's a basic little rundown of my workflow. Some take way longer than others. I think I had this shoot tied up for about 2 or 3 weeks before I got them all done, just because some of these photos took well over 3 or 4 plus hours in Photoshop to get them just right. So I think that's it. Here's my favorite from the shoot. This took a lot of time. But yeah, that was my workflow. So next I'm going to show you some behind the scenes on set